Hi, it's Seth from Relevant Sessions here, and today I'm talking about video content creation. Let's do this. So, video is an incredibly important and useful way of providing loads of information in a really easily digestible way. They perform better than most other types of content. They get incredible engagement from your audience. And if you look on your socials feeds, so Instagram or Facebook or whatever, at the top sort of 10 seconds of feed, you're guaranteed to see at least a few videos. And this is because the algorithms for Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all the rest of it, they push video content so much more, because when people are watching a video, they're engaged in that content for longer and they stay on the site longer, and so the algorithm loves it. Because of this, videos are more likely to stay in people's feeds for longer as well, and so you're more likely to get more organic interaction from a video than you are from a picture or a text post, which will drop down the feed quicker. The other types of content formats are still useful, so Instagram's still great to post pictures, etc. But if you can be creating video content and putting it out there, it's a really good way of engaging fans. Now, obviously you're going to need something to record your video content on. There's loads of different options for cameras available. You ideally want something light and portable so that you can take it around with you all the time. Now, I think phones generally are perfect for this. The quality you can get out of a mobile phone these days is exceptional. The audio quality is brilliant, and if you're not willing to part with loads of money to get a decent camera setup in terms of all the digital SLR gubbins that you need, then the phone really is the best option. Like, you can get accessories for it, you can put different lenses on it, you can have microphones and audio adapters if you get really into it, but the most important thing is you're guaranteed to have it with you pretty much all of the time. And so you can record things super quickly. If it's a spur of a moment idea that you want to capture, or if it's some backstage content which is going on, like some insights into what you're doing when you're on tour, all these different things can be captured really easily with the phone that you have in your pocket. Another good option is GoPros. Having a set of GoPros for when you're out on the road is brilliant. They're completely durable. You can throw pretty much anything at them and they will survive generally. The footage from them is pretty good. The audio's not great, but again, you can get accessories. But the most important thing about it is the fact that you can film immediately. You just hit a button and it's going, and it's good quality, and you don't have to worry about it. It's such a wide field of view, you can just point it in the direction that it's going, and you're going to capture some good footage. Whether it's usable, but the most important thing is capture as much footage as possible, and then you can edit it down later. So if you're doing to-camera style content like this, try and have a clean background of some kind and have it reasonably well lit so that you can see you, but you don't have to go crazy with this. Just make sure that it's nice and clean and simple. Even better than that is if you can find a way of including the Scottish landscape into your shot. So this may seem a bit twee and a bit like you're crowbarring it in sometimes, but if you can use it in a way that gives a sense of place and identity and authenticity to what you're doing and what you're saying, then it goes down incredibly well with international audiences, with different festival bookers and everything. Everyone wants to see where you're from and what you're doing, and if you can incorporate the landscape into that, it's a huge win. So once you capture your footage, you're going to need to edit it down. To do this, you need some kind of app or software to condense all of the raw footage you've got into a nice, neat, edited, finished product to stand out. So there's loads of different options for this. Desktop apps, there's like pro versions like Adobe Premiere Pro and Final Cut, they're right up there. Things like iMovie and the equivalent for Windows is also a brilliant option, and it's free. It's usually included with the computer. You can do fantastic clean edits on those. Another good option is a program called DaVinci. It's a free software you can download. There is an extended version that you can pay for, but the free version is brilliant, and that includes editing, coloring, and any form of special effects that you want to get into. That's something you can do through DaVinci, so it's well worth checking out. There's loads and loads of tutorials and information online on how to use it and all of these options. Alternatively, you can use things on your phone, like Adobe Premiere Rush is a good option, which is a slimmed down version of Adobe Premiere Pro. There's other options for iOS devices like iMovie and LumaFusion, or for Android devices you can use KineMaster. There's loads of different options, so check them out. There's tutorials online on how to use these individual programs specifically, but the editing process for all of them is the same. So all these different programs and apps are similar in the way that they work. Each one has this different thing which it does best, but the way that you edit and the technique that you use for editing remains the same across all of them. So generally you want to keep your edits fairly short and fast. People's attention span is incredibly short on social media, so keep things as succinct as possible. Cut out all the waffle and chaff that you don't need, just get rid of it. If you can add B-roll in to keep your edits interesting, so this is all the stuff that you should be filming backstage when you're out on the road. It just gives you so much to play with in terms of extra content that you can be putting into your videos or your music videos or whatever. And you add that in with the speech going underneath, so just a layer on top, and that provides so much more context and information to what you're doing, what you're saying, and the point that you're trying to get across. Now, when people are scrolling through their news feeds, you've got to grab their attention immediately. It's got to be so fast. When you're doing your edit, if you keep the edit at the start, really quick, lots of information in there. It's eye-catching, it's dramatic, it holds people's attention, and then you can slow down and provide the information that you need. That's the best way to do it. Just grab their attention any way, means, shape, form, whatever you need to do, just grab it. People have an incredibly short attention span, so if you're filming for social media, try not to think of it like a TV show. Try and think of it more as like a throwing information at you newscast type thing. You just blurt it all out, then you can slow down and provide the actual proper information once you grab their attention. But you have to keep it visually exciting and engaging. Eschew any long logo introductions or like title sequences. Just get rid of all that. You don't need it. You just need to grab people. Just think as unconventionally and out of the box as possible. Something which will stand out in the newsfeed and something which represents who you are and your character, because people are there to see you and your music and they want to know about you. If you're not yourself on camera, people aren't going to believe it and they'll probably just skip on. The best thing to do is to think like your audience. So don't think like TV, don't think like you're watching this beautiful movie that you're creating. That might be relevant for some stuff, but for social media, think like you're someone scrolling through their feed and what would grab your attention, and just do that. Finally, one last thing is always make sure your lens is clean, whether you're using a camera, whether you're using a GoPro or whatever. If it's your phone in particular, make sure to clean your lens. You can use a lens cloth for this. Using your thumb doesn't work. Using your jumper is not good enough. Use a lens cloth. Make sure that your footage is crisp and clean, because there's nothing more infuriating than trying to watch blurry, smudged footage. It's not usable, so make sure it's clean. Hopefully that's been helpful in giving you some video editing tips. Once you've chosen your software, you can find loads and loads of up-to-date YouTube videos on how to do your editing, but as a general rule, keep your edits short, keep them sharp, keep them quick, and try and make it as engaging as possible. Think outside the box, and you'll come up with some brilliant videos.